purpose of this space is to create a very safe environment for people to share a moment of their lives.
Matatagpuan sa 104 and 138 na may higit sa 300 sasakyan, brand new and pre-owned, ay pwede niyong pagpipilian. Bago ka pa sa bansa, wala ka pang credit score, walang problema. Marami kaming selection from all makes and models, and all trade-ins are welcome. Higit pang impormasyon sa sirmitsubishi.com.
Located one block north of St. Paul's Hospital, Downtown Denture Center features complete and partial teeth restoration options. With 35 years experience, Anthony Chung offers mobile services and emergency repair consultation 24 hours a day. Downtown Denture Center, just off Nelson at 970 Burrard in the lobby of the Electra Building. Foodie World has 75,000 square feet of imported and domestic products, with a large selection dedicated to our Filipino kababayans. With an in-house butcher, variety of seafood, and produce from around the globe. Open every day until midnight. Foodie World, one block east of number 3 Road off Sea Island Way in Richmond. Centrally located in the Richmond Auto Mall since 1984, Richmond Honda features a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles. Inside the showroom, Honda's newest models are displayed for viewing, and the dealership is staffed 7 days a week for financial consultation.
All the stories that you're going to hear tonight are personal in nature, some of which can encroach on dark topics as addiction, abuse, self-harm, and you may get triggered by them. And if you do, there's a beautiful lounge to the back of XY that you can go down, chill out, get your composure. When you're ready, you can come and join us. Welcome to My Story. My name is Winston Young, and I'll be your host for tonight. That's my favorite part of the whole show right there. But I invite my sister, Christine Hylands, on the stage to share an episode that she likes best.
All right, so a few weeks ago, I get a text message. Please call me when you have a moment. That's quite often what I get from Winston. So I call him up. Hey, you, what's up? I don't know what the hell is wrong with her. She chewed up another baseboard. I'm tired of this. I let her mess up her bed. I give her treats. I give her this. I give her that. And she still does this crap. What the hell is wrong with her? He's referring to his dog, Kismet. And as I'm listening to him rage about what she's done, she chewed up a little bit of baseboard. You have to understand, like a few days before that, she ripped up her bed. If you go to her Instagram site, you'll see like foam stuff everywhere. It's her own bed. I said, it's her own bed. It's not a big deal. Anyway, I can sense the anger, the frustration, and the huge negative energy as he's telling me this, literally shouting this over the phone, as he's just fed up with this behavior of hers. Kismet is not even 9 months old yet. She's a beautiful dog, but she is a puppy. She hasn't done this before. She's starting to behave in ways he doesn't understand. And all I'm thinking to myself is, she's a dog, something's bothering her, and she can't tell you. I'm tired of this game. I'm tired of restuffing her bed. I don't really care anymore. I'm going to take it, throw it in a bag, and throw it out. She can sleep on the floor for all I care. I am done with this BS behavior. And that's going to make it all better. My mom, if you talk to her, she would tell you that when Winston was younger, he was a really good boy. He was quiet, respectful, always ate his dinner, was, really good with the elders, stuff like that. Model son. And then something started to change. He just started to behave in ways that he didn't do before. Was it, a new group of friends? Was it a change in school? Was it something happening at school? What was going on? I'm not sure if Winston would even admit to this to anybody, but I can tell you, honestly, growing up with him, that he put my parents through quite a lot. And, sorry, I have to refer to my notes here a little bit. And in all honesty, considering what he put my parents through, chewing on baseboards is really nothing. If that's all he ended up doing, was he was chewing on baseboards, that'd be actually fantastic. My parents didn't really know what to do. They tried to talk to him, and this is what the response was. They tried to talk to him some more. They would ask more questions, and all he would do is stand there. No response, and wouldn't look at them. It's awfully frustrating, and you can sense it, and they got more and more angry, and more frustration led to more anger ended up leading to a spanking probably, which led to more fear. And you would think that things would possibly change, but they didn't. Well, actually, they kind of did. They got worse. I remember my son. I have two boys. I have a 13-year-old and a 15-year-old. And my older son, he started behaving similarly. I remember getting mad at him for something, and all he would do, and I'm like, wow, this feels really familiar. And we just kind of ignored it or whatever. And then one day I was in the car, the four of us were driving to some family activity. And I don't know what Sean was up to, and all I know is that Jamie just started screaming. We have a minivan, and there's like a seat here and a seat here, and there's a gap in between. That must have been a parent input, because that whole bucket seat thing, having 3 kids sit side by side, not a cool thing. But still, they're able to reach over, and I don't know what he did. He must have hit him, pinched him, I don't know. But he just started making Jamie cry. And I turned around and I said, why did you choose to hurt your brother? That's all I asked. Why did you choose to hurt your brother? And this is what Sean, why did you choose to hurt your brother? I turn around. Buddy, look at me, please. Look at me. At this point, this has been going on for quite a while. My husband got a little bit frustrated with this. And he just goes, answer your mother! Mike, stop the car for a sec, please. He pulls over. I get out of the car. Open side door. You know what, sweetie? I remember when Uncle Winston was young, and he used to do the same thing to Gong Gong and Popo when he thought he was in trouble. He wouldn't respond to them, and it was like talking to a stone wall. It was awfully frustrating, and they got really, really angry. I will not let you do that to me. You have a choice, and I will give you this choice. You have a choice to talk or not to talk, and that's fine. But I have a choice as well, and my choice is, We aren't going anywhere until you say something. You don't have to be scared to tell me anything. I don't want you to be scared. And it doesn't matter what it is, because at the end of the day, I'll just be happy that you talk to me. So we sat there for a while, and this is all it was. And then I heard, "Mommy, Jamie was just really bugging me." Oops. "Thank you for talking to me, baby. We'll figure it out." And we went on. Probably the best thing I ever did before having children was adopting a dog. My dog, Casey, our first dog, taught me a lot about patience and persistence and consistency. Excuse me. I have to say, and I'm probably gonna get some flack from this, because I know I have in the past, raising a young child is a lot like training a puppy. It really is, right? Keep it simple. When the kids, I go shopping, it's hot in the day. I didn't want the kids to go in the car because it's too hot while I'm putting the groceries in the car. So I say, "Okay, boys, sit, stay. I'll be back." I'd carry cookies in my pocket, for treats, right? Doggy bags as well. They were young, had moments. The second best thing that happened to me after I became a parent was meeting our daycare lady, Antoinette. And she taught me probably the most important thing ever, not just as being a parent, but as being a person. She says, never, ever, ever ask your child if he has been a good boy. Okay? Ask them, have you had a good day? It's really important to separate out the behavior from the person. Because at some point, by telling somebody they've been bad, they will hear it enough that they're going to believe it. And they're going to feel that I've been bad. I guess this is how bad people behave, so I guess this is what I'm supposed to behave like. And not really understanding this actually is your behavior that is not so good. Sorry. And she knows she did something wrong. She's right there, she's behind the couch right now. Her tail's between her legs, and she won't even look at me. She's scared. She's scared of you right now. She is so scared, she doesn't even want to look at you. She knows you're mad. She has no idea why you're mad, but she just knows you're mad, and you're possibly mad at her, and she is frightened. Kismet should never be scared of you. You need to get down to her level, call her over, give her a choice, and when she chooses to come, you hold her and you cuddle her and you let her know that no matter how mad, how frustrated, and how upset you are, that you still love her. Train her with love, not fear. Praise will get you far more better results than punishment ever will. So the next day, just worried that Winston was going to punt his dog out the door, I called him up and I said, "Oh, hey, buddy, I just want to call and see how things are going." And he told me, you know what, I totally get it. She's young, lots of changes going on right now. I decided to put things back to where they were used to be. We put the bed aside for a while, and I put some towels down. Now, you see, Kismet is kind of an interesting dog. I don't know what is about her. There's nice plush cushions and dog beds and stuff like that, but she prefers to lie on towels. So, he'd put a towel by the door, towel by the fireplace, towel in the kitchen. He took a towel. He put it by his workbench. That's the one she chose to lie on. Thank you very much.
So I invite Hibby Jensen to the stage to give me some insight as to how I could have done better.
Thanks, Winston. Hi, my name is Hibby, and I'm really excited to be here today. And thank you so much for sharing your stories. And I've heard so much amazing things today, and I'm just listening, and I'm doing that me too, I get it. I just wanted to start a little bit about where I came from. I came from South Africa. I was born in Cape Town. My mother lived in a place called District 6, which was, if people have heard about Cape Town in South Africa, it was a very challenged place. My father was from Wynberg. My mother is Dutch, Chinese, and Bushman. My father is Arabic and English. And so they mixed. My father's Muslim, my mother's Christian. They had 5 kids and said, hey, let's go to Canada. And so we came to Canada and we tried to figure it all out. And so growing up here, it was just us. There were no aunts, uncles, cousins. We were it. And with that background, really, we didn't look anything alike. I had 5 siblings. So my oldest brother looked half black. My second brother looked Filipino. My other sister looked European. My other sister looked half Asian. And then I came along, and honestly, I just did not look like anybody. And so I grew up learning how to be a chameleon. I was hanging out with the Italians. I was hanging out with the Negro blacks, the Filipinos, and I just did not fit in with anyone. And I just was empty. And that's how I kind of grew up. I just grew up learning how to be somebody else, not really knowing who I was. And it was kind of shitty, trying to be somebody else, pretending to fit into everything. And, I just did not connect. And so I went through this life pretending to be somebody I wasn't. And I went from hanging out with gangs when I was young to being the homecoming cheerleader. And none of that matched. And it sounds kind of shit, poor her. But you know what? I know the feeling of not belonging. I know the feeling of not being good enough. I know the feeling of pretending to be something that I'm not, because the fact is nobody saw me. Nobody could see inside and know what I was feeling. And when I went home and I lied in bed and I was alone. And that's how I kind of grew up. So I grew up in Vancouver, and this is going to be bouncing forward. But as I said before, my family, I'm the youngest of 5. I had my siblings, and I had this brother who was the oldest, and he loved me. It didn't matter what I did. He just loved me. He would show up for all of us. But the problem was that nobody showed up for him. And he had an addiction problem. And, I'd be going out, clubbing, doing my thing. And every time I left, I'd be looking out in the streets, looking for my brother. And you know what? Because of that, I looked into every single person's eyes on the street. I didn't see people with alcoholism and drug issues. I saw my brother. I saw my brother in each of those people, and I just connected. And I felt like, you know what? They saw me. And it was this amazing gift. And so what I'm going to tell is a little story about my life and, about my love. So what happened is that I did find my brother. I went home one day to visit my mom. Being the chameleon, I had done all these amazing jobs. None of them really connected with me, but I did all of them anyway. From talent agent, 6 months, DJ, 6 months, belly dancer, finance administrator, like, and it's sick because you know what? Anyone would give me a job. I just couldn't figure out how to make an opportunity stick because I wasn't actually connected to this person inside me at all, and it sucked. So went home, ran home to my mom, decided to move in with my mom again, and the phone rings, and I was looking for my brother on the street, and you know what? It's him. And I pick up, I'm like, oh, hey. And he's, you know, I could hear the pain, I could hear the suffering in his voice, and I said, you know, I love you. You know what he said to me? No, you don't. And I'm like, no, you know what? I love you. No, you don't. I love you. I'm like the baby, right? So I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to keep going. And I'm like, I love you. No, you don't. I love you. No, you don't. And honestly, what he was saying was, I don't deserve it. You know, you don't know who I am. You know, there's no way that I'm lovable. But all I heard was, no, you don't, no, you don't. And I said it, and I remember 15 times until that day, 15 times on that one phone call, he said, I love you too. And it was like the conversation stopped. It was like incredible. Like it actually sunk in. And I knew that he loved me, and I knew that he heard that I loved him. But you know what? It wasn't good enough, so I thought, because 3 months later he was dead. And you know, this encompasses my whole life. This is my family. This is like, he is my uncle. He is my grandfather. He was everything to me. He is all the memories I had growing up that I don't know, because I can't share those memories. I can't have those conversations with him anymore. And so I did this really, like, I'd never experienced this. I had to bury him. Like, you know, my father's Muslim, my mother's Christian. Like, we did this thing where you have to wash the body. My dad had to do it, and then we had to bury him. And so I had to go and hug my brother. And it wasn't my brother anymore. And all of a sudden, you know what? It was this empty shell. And I had to figure out what that was going to mean to me. And after I buried him, I stayed overnight at the cemetery. And I never went back for 12 years. And that was what my life was like. And I went back to being that disconnected person. And something happened. I went to this place where I completely, and I understand when people share, like, I felt like I had no more options and I was bankrupt, literally, financially, spiritually. The whole place was like, it was done. And I had to look at the universe and say, you know what? I feel like I have nothing left to give. I don't even know who I am. But inside, I know I have love. And I know because when I see people, the one thing I do is I see people. I see them. I don't judge them. Maybe judge me, but I don't judge them. I love them. I love them. I love them. I love them, just like I did my brother. And this thought came through my head that I just need to love. I just need to love. And I went through whatever it took to figure out how to connect to myself. I had to figure out how to love myself because I knew my brother loved me. And I had to learn how to forgive all those mistakes I made, all the challenges I went through that I just didn't know what to do with. And I needed to learn to love other people with not just my voice, but with my thoughts and with my actions. And as soon as I decided this, it's like the universe opened up. Like I said, I wasn't working, and I said, God, higher power, whatever you want to call them, because that was what my religion was. It was going to be love, and I wasn't going to give 95%. I wasn't going to give 99%. I was going to give 100% to this, and just show me what to do. Show me how to love. And within a week, I was offered this trip to El Salvador to go and help out these kids in an orphanage to make sure that this person's fundraising efforts were working. And I did, and I didn't know who they were, and I wasn't sure if I should trust them, and I did it. And I came back, and all of a sudden I just felt like my perspective changed. And so, this is a really exciting opportunity for me, because I want to tell you one thing, is that I didn't think that I would be able to love again because my brother died. and I felt like I was abandoned. But you know what I did is I started to practice all these different tools, and I started to learn to love, and I started to love my friends more. And I fell in love with myself. But you know what else? I fell in love with someone that actually adores me and loves me. And I never thought that would ever be possible, because I just never did. It was just impossible to actually believe that I could be loved. And if that's hard to believe, I want to tell you something else, that life is too short to just give 95%. Because I have girlfriends that are like, you know what, give 95%, keep 5 for yourself. Because you never know when he's going to walk out, you know, or all these other stories. I hear people, they're so afraid to love. And I'm like, you know what, just love. Just give it all. Figure out if you got problems, like you know, there are solutions. Like, figure it out and then learn to love, because this world needs love. And it's just too short to not try your best and love, because I will dance like no one's watching, and I will love like I've never had my heart broken. Thanks.
Hibby Jensen, everyone.
Models are on display at Freeway Mazda. New Mazda sedans, crossovers, and SUVs surround the facility, and fully loaded versions occupy the floor of the showroom. At Freeway Mazda, 154th Street and 104 Avenue in Surrey. Foodie World presents Philippine Street, featuring a large selection of Filipino foods, from imported non-perishable products to both packaged seafood and locally caught and very much alive. Foodie World is 75,000 square feet of worldly groceries situated in North Richmond.